Well, hello. How are you doing tonight? It is night time here in Sweden in Malmö, and my light is shining bright. I'm looking up because I'm like, gotta look at myself too, see like if I can see myself in here. I have a spotlight in my face. I might want to change that up. So happy to meet you again, and for you who have not met me yet, I'm Eva. I'm Eva Ray, or Eva Ra, if you want to pronounce it in a higher vibrancy. I was guided to talk to you, no, really not to talk to you, but to read a passage from the 40 Rules of Love by Elif Shafak. But it's really one of the 40 rules of Shams and Rumi. So it's about love, right? So it's the 40 rules of love. And then I will draw a Rumi oracle card. It seems like Rumi wants to speak to you, and Shams too. So let me change that light a little bit. Alright, now it's not in my face anymore. Okay, I got some candles going on here. As usual, I want you to see it. Candlelight. Can you see the candles? It's pretty massive actually. It's been like floating all over the place. I like that. It's like staring is making its own art on my table. I don't mind. At least when I don't have the kids here. They will think that it's highly interesting. I'm actually looking for my pipe right now because I really want to smoke some tobacco to ground myself from this extreme ride I've had. And I got some hot cocoa, and I've eaten some peaches, and now I'm boiling some eggs. So that's my late night dinner. No value in that, but I love it. Love it! As you can see, I'm pretty high on energy right now. Although it's very late. And that is because Spirit's telling me not to share too much, so I won't share too much, but I've basically been, well, I can tell you this much. I've been bicycling. Exchanging energy, exchanging stagnant energy to living energy in many different ways. And I will tell you more about that later. Because now, apparently, although I wanted to talk about something else, I'm not supposed to talk about that. So, that's okay. It's probably because I haven't figured it out yet. Probably. Maybe I think I have figured it out, but I haven't. It's usually the case. When you're like, I got this shit together, get it all rolling up, and then, once you think you have it in the bag, you look into the bag and the bag is empty. Why is that? Because you forgot to tie it. So, Sweden we say, ropa inte hej förrän du är över bäcken. Don't shout out hey until you're over the creek. And that goes for me too. Well, I shout hey like a lot, all the time, because I love it. It like raises the vibrancy, but never mind. I'm just happy. I had a good day. I've been bicycling and singing. That's a good thing to do. Yeah. So, thank you all for watching. For those very few watchers that I have yet, I love you very much. Thank you for watching and staying with me. And if you're not staying with me, thank you for the visit. Have a good day. Alright, here's the book. I think I've shown it before to you. it's according to the time. Oh, was it? Yeah, the Times. A gorgeous, jeweled, luxurious book, and that it is. You might think it's a love story. That is true, but it's not any ordinary love story. It's a story about true love. But you've heard that a lot of times, huh? Well, it's not the true love that you find in the magazines or in the movies. It's true love that resides within each and every one of our hearts. Okay? So, I will start with one rule. That, according to this book, Shams of Tabriz, he uttered. The universe is one being. Everything and everyone is interconnected through an invisible web of stories. Whether we are aware of it or not, we are all in a silent conversation. Do no harm. Practice compassion. And do not gossip behind anyone's back, not even a seemingly innocent remark. The words that come out of your mouths do not vanish, but are perpetually stored in infinite space, and they will come back to us in due time. One man's pain will hurt us all. One man's joy will make everyone smile. This is what one of the 40 rules reminds us. Okay. That's one of the rules. And then comes the chapter I was guided to read to you. And this is from the perspective of an individual named Sultan Walad. And no, I will not tell you about this person. You can make it up however it goes, alright? So this is in Konya in December 1245, as in 1245, the year. Banter to some, but it pains me to hear the gossip. How can people be so disdainful and scornful with regard to things they know so little about? It is queer, if not frightening, how out of touch with truth people are. They don't understand the depth of the bond between my father and Shams. Apparently they haven't read the Quran, because if they had, they would know that there are similar stories of spiritual companionship, such as the story of Moses and Khidr. It is in the verse of Al-Kahf, clear and plain. Moses was an exemplary man, great enough to become a prophet someday, as well as a legendary commander and a lawmaker. But there was a time when he surely needed a spiritual companion to open his third eye. And that companion was no other than Khidr, the comforter of the distressed and dejected. Khidr said to Moses, I am a lifelong traveler. God has assigned me to roam the world and do what needs to be done. You say you want to join me in my journeys, but if you follow me, you must not question anything I do. Can you bear to accompany me without questioning? Can you trust me fully? Yes, I can, Moses assured him. Let me come with you. I promise I won't ask you any questions. They set out on the road, visiting various towns on the way. But when he witnessed Khidr perform senseless actions like killing a young boy or sinking a boat, Moses could not hold his tongue. Why did you do those awful things? He asked desperately. happened to your promise? Khidr asked back. Did I not tell you that you can ask me no questions? Each time Moses apologized, promising not to ask anything, and each time he broke his promise. In the end, Khidr explained the reason behind each and every one of his actions. Slowly but surely, Moses understood that things that can seem malicious or unfortunate are often a blessing in disguise, whereas things that might seem pleasant can be harmful in the long run. His brief companionship with Khidr was to be the most eye-opening experience in his life. In this parable, there are friendships in this world that seem incomprehensible to ordinary people, but are in fact conduits to deeper wisdom and insight. This is how I regard Sham's presence in my father's life. But I know that other people don't see it in the same way, and I am worried. Unfortunately, Shams does not make it easy for people to like him. Sitting at the gate of the cemetery in an embarrassing and threatening manner, he stops and interrogates everyone who wants to go in and talk to my father. What do you want to see the great Mavlana for? He asks. What did you bring as a gift? Mavlana, yeah. What did you bring as a gift? Not knowing what to say, people stammer and falter, even apologize, and Shams send them away. Some of these visitors return in a few days with presents, carrying dried fruits, silver dirhams, silk carpets, or newborn lambs. But seeing these goods annoys Shams even more. His black eyes aglow, his face glittering with fervor. He chases them away again. One day a man got so upset with Shams, he shouted, "What gives you the right to block Mavlana's door? You keep asking everyone what they are bringing. How about you? What did you bring him?" "I brought myself," Shams said, just loud enough to be heard. "I sacrificed my head for him." The man trudged off, mumbling something under his breath, looking more confused than enraged. The same day I asked Shams if it didn't trouble him that he was so widely misunderstood and underappreciated. Scarcely able to contain my apprehension, I pointed out that he had gained many enemies lately. Shams looked at me blankly, as if he had no idea what I was talking about. "But I have no enemies," he said with a shrug. "The lovers of God can have critics and even rivals, but they cannot have enemies." "Yes, but you quarrel with people," I objected. Shams bristled with fervor. "I don't quarrel with them. I quarrel with their inflated sense of themselves." "That's different." Then he added softly, "It is one of the 40 rules. This world is like a snowy mountain that echoes your voice. Whatever you speak, good or evil, will somehow come back to you. Therefore, if there is someone who harbors ill thoughts about you, saying similarly bad things about him will only make matters worse. You will be locked in a vicious circle of malevolent energy. Instead, for 40 days and nights, say and think nice things about that person. Everything will be different at the end of 40 days, because you will be different inside." "But people are saying all sorts of things about you. They even say for two men to be so fond of each other, there has to be an unspeakable bond between them," I said, my voice failing me toward the end. Upon hearing this, Shams put his hand on my arm and smiled his usual calming smile. He then told me a story. Two men were traveling from one town to another. They came to a stream that had risen due to heavy rainfall. Just when they were about to cross the water, they noticed a young, beautiful woman standing there all alone, in need of help. One of the men immediately went to her side. He picked the woman up, carried her in his arms across the stream, then he dropped her there, waved goodbye, and then the two men went their way. During the rest of the trip, the second traveler was unusually silent and sullen, not responding to his friend's questions. After several hours of sulking, unable to keep silent anymore, he said, "Why did you touch that woman? She could have seduced you. Men and women cannot come in contact like that." The first man responded calmly, "My friend, I carried the woman across the stream, and that is where I left her. It is you who have been carrying her ever since." Some people are like that, Sham said. They carry their own fears and biases on their shoulders, crushed under all that weight. If you hear of anyone who cannot comprehend the depth of the bond between your father and me, tell him to wash his mind. And that was all for tonight, my friends. I will also pull a Rumi oracle card. It is so profound. I just have to add, it is so profound. It doesn't matter what religion you practice, or if you even practice a religion, or what you ever think about religions. You don't have to put anything, any value or valuation into this. If you just listen with your heart, this language of love is universal. It doesn't matter what religion, gender, ethnicity, profession, sexuality, doesn't matter. Love is universal. Yes, and now that we speak in love, reach everyone's hearts. If we speak heart to heart, if we see ourselves in our true nature and do the best we can with this time that we have given ourselves and that we have been given here on earth, and go on our path, follow our mission, and not care that much about what other people think or what they should think, what they do or what they should do, but instead focus on yourself and send yourself love and send others love. See, that's the beauty of love. It is universal. It is always present. Such an almighty force, full of compassion, full of forgiveness, and full of everything that your heart ever dreamed of. And I highly recommend to read a story about many other people, but including them, Rumi and Shams of Tabriz. And now I can tell you, after reading this chapter, that Sultan Walad was Rumi's firstborn son, and he later on became a dervish himself, a Sufi dervish, according to this book. And the bond between Rumi and Shams, but also just the bond between Rumi and everybody, and Shams and everybody, is such an inspiring story. If you want to really know what love is, do you really know what love is? I ask you that. Do you really know what love is? Do you? Do you think you know what love is, or do you truly feel it? If you feel challenged by that, then you might not know what love is. Perhaps you just know for yourself, and that's enough. You don't have to know for anybody else. Not for me, not for anybody else. And if you don't want to answer that question, then don't. It's up to you. It's all up to you. It's your own story. You're writing the story of your life. What do you want to have in it? What kind of book do you want to read to yourself before you go into your next realm? Do you want to read a story of love, or of something else? Hot cocoa. So good. All right, let's do the oracle card and call this a night. Thank you for watching. All right, so this is the Rumi oracle card deck by Alana Fairchild. It is one of the best gifts I've been given so far, except for, of course, the oh, I gotta tell you this, except of course for the book, The 40 Rows of Love. So this was given to me by a friend that is a Sufi, and she's from Bosnia. And this was given to me by a friend, and she practices no religion except for the language of love and light. And she's from Croatia and Serbia. So, a lot of love to you, former Yugoslavians, the Baltics. I love you guys. You are such an intoxicating mix of cultures. Love it. All right. Brother Rumi of love and light, Shams, yes, I'm calling on you, of Tabriz, Shams, the sun, and angels of love and light only. What would you like to guide the audience of this video to listen, view, and take to their hearts? What do they need? Oh, there's a card falling out. Whew. Fast. Let's see what card it is. Ooh! Woo, ooh, ooh. I think we're gonna go dancing. Whirling Goddess. Number 30. Which is 3. Which is Trinity. Acknowledge the love you have for the Creator. Creator rests. The source energy. Look at that picture. Isn't it beautiful? I think it's beautiful. Whirling Goddess. Alright, let's see what it says. I'll hold it up for you too. I'll just find it first. And I hope you really enjoy my reading. English is not my native language in this lifetime. But I am actually in a lunar phase where it's said that you're supposed to have a more delightful voice to listen to. So hope this resonates with you. All right. Whirling Goddess. It's about listening to your heart, right? This is a poem from Rumi. Lose your head. Not a single thread that has a head can go through the eye of the needle. Okay, I'll say it again. Lose your head. Not a single thread that has a head can go through the eye of the needle. So it's about a portal. That's my interpretation. About a portal, about being so infinite and gigantic that you're also infinitely small and tiny. Come, my love, are you dizzy yet? If you can still find your feet, then that is okay with me, but if you can still find your head, then I will take issue. There is a great dance, but it cannot be danced with choreographed steps. No, this great dance demands a response rather than an initiation. No, this great dance demands a response rather than an initiation. A reaction rather than a direction. So, let us dissemble and lose our heads to the great music. The rhythm held steady in our beating hearts. Our feet shall be moving whilst our minds, inadequate to the task, take the night off. Beautiful. Mm. All right, I will read all to you. And if you don't want to listen to it all, you can fast forward, or press pause, or whatever you do. There is somewhere you are meant to be. It is here, now, in this moment. There is a gift right under your nose, and fragrant wine in your glass, gleaming red as the most precious rubies. To be here, now, you must pass through the keyhole. But your head will tell you this is not possible unless the door is unlocked. Even though your body is passing through the keyhole of that locked door into the endless world beyond. Leave your mind to be in its struggles for a moment, without you laying witness to it. Your mind will become like the dog howling for its master's return, even as he steps out of the front door. Frustrated temporarily, he will chew on some shoes, then fall asleep peacefully until his master returns. So leave your mind trusting, chewing a little, until you are truly through the keyhole when it can rest. Leave it be. Instead, come dance with me. This oracle card brings you a message. You are at the point of growth where your mind can hold you back rather than urge you forward. If you have, like so many, used your mind to support you, to shore up your sense of self in the world, and to gain a sense of certainty about how the world works, then this is no easy leap. It will seem as though you are being asked to pass through the keyhole. Of course, your mind will stop and argue for all the reasons why the door should be open instead of remain closed, making the task seem so much harder than it needs to be. But this is the mind in resistance. Don't place too much stock in the claims that life should be other than it is. You are being asked to dance rather than understand, to lay the thoughts to rest and to come alive. It is the bravest, most trusting soul that dares to put the mind to one side and say, "Tonight we dance, my heart and I, in the great rousing music of the beloved's beating heart, and I will not miss one step," and to awaken the next day and do that all over again, and again, and again. You are ready. You see, sweet soul dancer, you are ready to live beyond what you know, to have it not matter if you don't understand how you live, how your life can work itself out, or how it could be that someone so normal and ordinary as you and I could also be so magnificent, wild, and divine. The need for answers and plans, assurances and explanations is passing out of your world now. You are not to wait for permission, for explanation, or even for another dance partner. For I am already inviting you onto the great dance floor. You are to let go of any stigma around not knowing. When someone asks you what you are going to do next or how you are going to manage, you are given this divine mandate. With relish, reveal the truth. I do not know. Know nothing and dance, sweet soul, for all will unveil itself to you in perfect harmony and timing. Your heart shall create the steps in response to the music of the spheres happening now, alive and spontaneous and free. This oracle brings you a special message. If there is an issue, apparently unsolvable or unknowable, in your life now, the divine is handling it. The divine is in the middle of it, working through the knot and unraveling it. Fear not. Do the sacred ritual and give yourself permission to take the night off from worry. Repeat this heavenly prescription daily as needed. Alright, and then they have a sacred honoring ritual, which I love, so I'm going to say it out loud with you, and I hope that you will say it out loud with me. And if you do not want to say it out loud, like you don't have to repeat after me, you can just close your eyes and sit in a safe space that feels safe and sacred to you. And nothing needs to be specifically sacred. You can just light a candle if you want to. And if you don't have a candle, just sit down and imagine yourself as a candle. You can imagine yourself as a candle and you have the light on top, either at your third eye or at your crown, and the fire is burning slowly and peacefully and infinitely, and you're holding this fire within you, okay? And whatever I'm saying, if you want to, you can repeat it in your head or listen to it and take it to heart if you wish. I give my heart permission to lead this dance. I give my mind some time off. No more worry or doubt, planning or resisting. Instead, I surrender. Instead, I open. Instead, I allow. And all unfolds with perfection, divine timing and the miracle of grace. With Rumi as my sole witness, so be it. And now you have completed the honoring ritual. So, thank you all for watching, and I want to give thanks to the Spirit, and thanks to love, and thanks to unconditional love, and I want to send you love, and send you light. And I want to remind you that in times of these, when you have a lot of things coming at you that you're witnessing or trying to temper perhaps, or a lot of things coming out of you that you're trying to resolve or understand, then I'm going to tell you what I told a friend today. It is really important to ask for help, okay? And if you don't feel comfortable asking a physical person, a friend or family member or loved one for help, because sometimes they might not understand and they might not even be able to just be there for you. But usually when we ask, they will be, because the divine is working through us. But if you don't feel comfortable with that, you can always ask for the divine guidance from Source Creator with love and light, or ask for angels from love and light, or ask for spirit guides from love and light, star family of love and light. You can ask for animal guides of love and light, soul family of love and light. There's many different connections you can make, okay? You can ask Gaia herself to guide you. You can ask the moon to guide you. You can ask the sun to guide you, the wind to guide you. Whatever you feel like you resonate with, whatever feels true to you, just ask for help, okay? And be sure you ask for love and light, because in this universe, you get what you ask for. And what I wanted to say with what I took with me, my perception, what came up to me when I was reading this for you, about passing through the keyhole in this whirl of dance, was giving birth, actually. And giving birth, I'm a trained doula, so and I'm also a mother, so I know what it is like to give birth. And I've also given birth to myself several times, and I hope I will continue to. It's truly magical and beautiful. And in the beginning, it feels like painful, because you have these labor pains, right? You're in labor pain. of like giving birth to yourself, it comes contractions. And the contractions comes because something needs to come out, right? So you might feel chest pain, heartache, stomach ache, throbbing headache, something in your throat, like coughing that needs to come out. Like it's this contracting energy, right, of your physical body that your energy body is doing within you, because everything is connected. So when you're working with energy, you're always in your physical body as well, all right? Your physical body is a manifestation of your energetical body and your light body. So they all work together. And when the old needs to come out and the new you needs to be given like birth, I'm doing like this because you're passing through the keyhole, you're passing through the hole. What seems impossible, you're passing through what seems impossible. And when you look at it from the point of view where you're coming towards it and you're gonna go through it, and you feel all this pain and you feel all this throbbing and you feel all this contraction, and your mind is taking over into fear and it's telling you that no, I cannot do this, like heck no, like how is my size gonna pass through this size, you know? And I remember the first time giving birth to my son. And when he was just about, this is very intimate, if you don't feel comfortable listening to this, you should turn it off, and God bless you. But giving birth is the most natural thing, so we should all, I believe we should all be comfortable in listening to this, because we have all been given birth to, right? All right, so I was giving birth to him, and I was right at the final stage of the birth process, when he was gonna pass out through me. And I was thinking to myself, I was like panicking in an instant. I was like, no, this is not possible. How is like his physical shape gonna pass through my physical shape? This is not possible. Like, how is this even gonna be possible? And then I heard myself telling myself through my heart and through my intuition, yes, it is possible, because we have all done it. It is possible because this is how we were created. It is possible because the impossible is possible. So my mind opened itself up to the thought, my heart opened itself up to the thought, and so my body opened itself up, and out came my son. And I'm telling you, I've given birth twice in this lifetime, and I have never been damaged. There's never been any damage to me. And yes, you can say that I'm lucky, but really it is about a matter of staying open to what seems impossible, but knowing inside that it is possible, that it is possible, and it is perfect. It is just the way that God intended to. It is just the way that Source intended to, or whatever you call it, him or her. See, love resides within us all, and love is, or might be, to some, out of a mind's perspective, impossible. That's why we tell these stories, these other love stories, not like this one I told you, but other love stories about a prince and a princess and yada yada yada. Like, come on, like they want you to see it, or we wanted to see it as if it is something impossible only royalty can attain. But really, we are all royalty. We are all royal, otherwise we wouldn't be here, alright? So if you're not a zombie, then you're royal. So step into your royalty, step into your divinity, and give birth to yourself. And yes, it will be painful, but once you are through it, once you are delivered, then it shall be delivered to you, okay? And it will be the most beautiful moment you have ever had in your life. And I can say with my hand on my heart, giving birth to myself the first time was the most beautiful thing I have ever done, even after giving birth to my children, all right? You have to put yourself first. You cannot put anybody or anything above yourself. We are all equal. We're all interconnected. And it all starts from within, so it all starts with you and me, with us all from within. All right. Cheerio. Love and light to you, all of you out there who's listening. Bring your friends, and maybe I'll read you some of the story if you like it. And please, like, feel free to leave some comments. I like feedback. I like feedback a lot, and especially when it comes from the heart. And feedback is in the regard of of what your experience is. Yeah. But to be truthful, like, no, like, I'm just gonna erase that part because I don't know if I like feedback. What is really feedback though? That's such a weird word. It is really a weird word. Maybe I want to erase this. And you know what? Like, stay weird too. I know I'm weird, like we're all weird. Whoops. So I'm gonna end this story with a little cigar, and then I'm gonna make an infinite prayer. Also, once you believe, like, making prayers are extremely powerful. And if you don't know how to make a prayer, I'm gonna recommend you to go back and watch the video I have about the power of prayer. I have a pimple right here. Something needs to come out. Always something coming out, because we're always putting something in, and so we always gotta release it. Keep it flowing. Keep our hearts flowing. And that, my friends, is how crazy I am, and even more so. And it's really not crazy because we're all cuckoo, aren't we? Peace and love and light to you. Have a good night. Ciao.